Hello, my name is Matthew. I will be doing my presentation on Stacy Marshall. This is a picture of my family. My parents are separated, and so I couldn't find a recent picture of all of us together, so I just did two separate pictures. I am the middle child in my family of three brothers. My younger brother Andrew, there's me, that's my older brother James, that's my mom Julie, this is our dog Jelly. And then over here, it's all three of us again, and this is my dad, Ron. Not in this picture would be my stepmom, Michelle, and my stepbrother, Jack, who is the youngest out of all the three of us. Uh, Describe personality as really social, energetic, and loyal. Loyal because, well, social and energetic just because I'm usually pretty outgoing. I like talking to people. That's, kind of one of my favorite things to do is just conversate with other people and spend time with other people. And then loyal because I am extremely loyal to my friends. I've had the same core group of friends since I was in early school. John, Juan, Parker, and my three best friends forever. Um, like I said, I prefer to spend time with others. I'm pretty easygoing when it comes to groups. I am someone that likes to go with the flow. I don't really like leadership roles. And yeah, I prefer to kind of let other people take the wheel time and me kind of just be that backup. Um, Although I do like spending a lot of time with people, I tend to get socially burnt out or my social battery runs dry. Especially when I'm spending a lot of time with people on top of like school and work and everything. I just don't really have a lot of time for myself. So I do enjoy personal hobbies like reading. I play a lot of video games and I like outdoors and doing stuff like hiking, going to the beach, surfing, paddleboarding, all that stuff. I really like. I want other people to view me as trustworthy, friendly, and reliable. Some of the important values that I hold dear to myself would be honesty. I think honesty is the foundation for any relationship, and so it's really important to build trust and kind of rely on your friends when you trust them. I like humility. I don't really like showy-offy. Again, loyalty, and then being genuine and kind. Something that I'm trying to work on is being more genuine, being less of a people pleaser, being more true to myself, and just, giving people the real version of myself. Um, I work as a server at a restaurant in Irvine called Houston's, and then I also work at the Children's Center here on campus, and I want to work with children in the future in an educational setting. I'm not entirely sure what exactly I want to do, but that's kind of the direction that I'm heading. So like I said in the older picture, hold on. My family includes my mom and my dad, as well as my older and younger brothers, James and Andrew. Like I said, I have a stepmom and a younger brother, as well as two older cousins on my mom's side, Courtney and Natalie, who I grew up with. I consider them closer to sisters than I do cousins. We would go on family vacations every year. I grew up with them. They were just part of the family growing up. We spent all of our time together. My parents divorced when I was 7 years old, so I was in the second grade. My dad remarried when I was 12, so I was in the sixth grade. And then my mom never remarried. As far as we were concerned growing up, she stayed single, but she had boyfriends and stuff that she just didn't really tell us about because we're serious, and so she didn't want to kind of bring them into the fold and complicate things. Both of my parents practiced an authoritative parenting style. Well, my dad leaned more towards authoritarian, and my mom leaned more towards permissive. So they both felt right in that middle ground, of being authoritarian. But my dad was a little controlling side, I would say, and was a little like didn't give explanations for things. It was more just like you do this because I say so, cut and dry, and then like my word is kind of law type of thing. That was more his parenting style. And then also he was very much like I feed you, I clothe you, I take care of your basic needs. I don't really want to be involved in like that extra stuff. You know what I mean? He didn't really get involved in like our schoolwork and just extra stuff. He wasn't really the one organizing
extracurricular activities, that really all fell on my mom. And then my mom leaned more towards the permissive style just because she was kind of hands off. There was very, very light discipline with my mom. She kind of thought that my dad was mean sometimes with just his discipline. He would yell a lot and everything like that. So she took it really easy on us. Um, Besides that, my stepmom actively participated in my parenting really. She kind of took a sideline and would like, I'm sure talk to my dad in private and stuff, but she never really like directly disciplined me or tried to like parent me other than just like providing, my basic needs and taking care of me like any other parent would. And then my mom leaned more towards conservative cultivation. She was the one always signing up for stuff like piano lessons. She signed me up for art classes. She was signing me up for all the extracurricular stuff. Well, again, my dad, I feel like kind of was more accomplishment of natural growth, where he kind of just took care of everything that he felt it was his responsibility, and then the rest was kind of up to us. In our free time, we were kind of allowed to do whatever we wanted. Didn't really put his hand in our extracurriculars. Going on to Stacey Marshall, she is and a great example of concerted cultivation. She has one older sister named Fern, who is 12 years old. Um, they have kind of your typical sibling relationship where they get into a lot of arguments, but they also love each other. And they show each other that they love each other, but they get on their nerves more often than not. Her parents 40s, and they had each previously been married before they met, just neither of them had kids. And so when they got married, they had their first kid together with Stacy. They are both college educated, her mom having a master's degree, both working full time. Her dad also college educated, has his own degree, middle class, and then they both make combined are north of $100,000 a year. Their extended family isn't too much in the picture. They see them semi regularly, but Stacy is not close to either of her grandparents. They're not really involved in her upbringing that much. Again, they live in a suburban middle class neighborhood that is racially integrated. It's predominantly black, but there's the school that their kids are in and everything. The school that Stacy goes to is predominantly white with some black, some Mexican, some Asian. Um, the Marshall family is African American, so they do have a lot of racial barriers that they have to deal with. And then as the kids, as Stacy and Fern have gotten older, those have become more prominent. Whereas before, when they were younger, white friends, but as they're getting older, all their friends are kind of starting to be black as well. Um, and then something that I thought was interesting was that Stacy's parents prefer reasoning over direct orders and usually don't like to, interfering with their children's actions. So even when it may be considered rude by adults, they kind of let Stacy do her own thing like that. And they just try to not like a direct like you have to do this because I said so type thing. Um, Stacy is involved in a ton of extracurricular activities, mostly taken care of by her mom. This includes dance, gymnastics, and also basketball. She's very busy. She is always doing something. Um, and her mom is always involved in the extracurriculars that she's doing. Like she is heavily involved and is there and is consulting with her instructors on her instruction, what she's learning, and what could help her, and very much like curating um, a style of learning specific to Stacy, which is really helpful because it teaches Stacy that she should have like individual institutions, and it is also giving her confidence and like the wherewithal to be able to ask for those accommodations on her own, knowing that she deserves that basically. Um, she's also learning how to correctly assess the programs and activities that she's involved in to whether or not they are good activities or good programs, and she's like being able to build a vocabulary when she can effectively express her opinion on that thing. So if she does have a problem with her instructors or the institution, she's able to critique it. She's able to state what is bothering her, whatever she needs, you know. I chose Stacy because I thought that we did kind of have a lot in common, both being middle class, both having siblings, kind of being raised in a similar suburban environment, both being raised under the practice of concerted cultivation, with both of our moms specifically kind of being the one that would sign us up, taking the wheel in terms of cultivating our education and everything like that, and the extracurricular activities that we were in. Hold on, I lost my train of thought. That being said, the one thing that I do want to point out is that a big difference between our parents' style of cultivation, specifically our moms, is that while my mom was pretty involved in signing me up for activities, all that, she wasn't as involved as Miss Marshall is, because Miss Marshall is like in the classroom, she's talking to instructors, she is like asking, going with going with Stacy to every single practice and everything like that, making sure that she is getting the specific education and specific instruction that works best for her, and is making sure that Stacy is individually accommodated. My mom kind of was just like, okay, I signed you up for this thing. Now go and be on your own for however long. You know what I mean? You said you wanted to do this. I did this for you. Or, you know, I kind of wanted you to up, so we're trying this out. But while you're there, I kind of want you to do your own thing. I'm not really going to be involved. I'm not going to nitpick on instruction and stuff like that. So that was the biggest difference. And I kind of learned to just not really, I didn't really gain those skills that Stacy did. And I kind of learned just to, you know, get what you get in terms of that. Like, you know, I learned not to expect that individual, whereas Stacy is learning to expect that. So I think that's a really big difference in terms of how our moms practice concerted cultivation. Another interesting thing that I thought was kind of funny was that middle class families often use like a ring of friends and family and stuff to oops, I'm in the dark. A ring of families to kind of like learn which instructors and which activities are good. Like I was in the same art classes and, you know, the same soccer teams and all the same stuff as all my mom's friends' kids as well. All ended up being in all the same groups, and that's kind of how it works within middle class families and middle class communities. So that's just another similarity. Yeah. Um, Thank you so much. That was my presentation, and I will see you all later. Thank you.